Mystery drone sightings continue across the United States. Let's get you the latest. All right, viewers. Today we aren't starting off with just a news story, but a mystery. A mystery which we won't be able to explain with our sure expertise. Nevertheless, we have to tell you this news story that has been happening in the United States from the past couple of weeks. It is so mysterious that everyone speaks about it, but no one has the right answers. Nearly 1,000 drones have been spotted in New Jersey of the United States and in several parts of that country, prompting a nationwide panic. The drones are the sizes of school buses, and it has given way to bizarre conspiracy theories. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCaul expressed worries that unmanned drones observed over New York and New Jersey might be Chinese surveillance drones, pointing to their closeness to military facilities and China's record espionage methods. Meanwhile, U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck has asked for Robin radars to be deployed to get to the bottom of the mystery. President-elect Donald Trump reacted to it and said that President Biden knows about it and that the military needed to tell the people. Take a listen.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Pentagon Secretary tried to allay fears of these drones. Pentagon Press Secretary Major General Patrick Ryder said Tuesday that military installations could receive enhanced capabilities to detect, identify and track drones following drone sightings that have gripped the United States. According to Ryder, these could include active or passive detection capabilities and others known as drone busters, which interfere with drone signals to disable them. Have a listen.
In the case of drones flying near or over U.S. military installations, that in and of itself, just given the volume of drone flights we see on a given day, is not something that's new. We take all of those seriously. We will typically, when we detect them, attempt to classify them and take appropriate measures. Is it possible that some of those are surveilling? Absolutely. But can you make that assumption in every case? Not necessarily. So in each case, commanders have the authority, installation commanders and authorities have the authority to respond appropriately, and we'll continue to do that.
Another one up here. Literally right on top of it.
All right, the ordinary citizens in the United States, in fact, are baffled by the mysterious nature of these drones, and they have their own theories on what it might be.
There's so many of them out here.
Drone sightings in New Jersey started around November 18th. A couple of Sundays ago, I actually went outside and I saw 60 specific drones around my township, which is the township of Pequannock. And this is an issue, and I started reaching out to our elected officials, and I wasn't getting any answers. Nobody knew anything.
So I'm looking up in the sky, and this is like nothing I've ever seen before, and the size is what really spooked me. Like, this is the enormity of this object. It was the enormity of this object, combined with the fact that it was, looking at my watch, 12:43 in the morning, made me think this is something that is bizarre. I never felt like this was a UFO. To me, my first thought was like, this is some sort of weird, like, military secret aircraft experiment kind of thing. Like, that was my first thought. And
So what is this drone phenomena?
Right.
US citizens have been reporting sightings of thousands of lighted drones above the skies. The sightings began in November of this year. Majority of the sightings, in fact, are in the state of New Jersey, and there are about 5,000 sightings that have been reported so
Literally right
far.
on top of it.
Local law enforcement agents and FBI are investigating the phenomenon. Few congressmen have said that it is the work of foreign powers. US officials claim most of them were manned aircraft. The authorities, in fact, have tried to allay fears, saying drones pose no threat, despite assurances, in fact, given to the ordinary citizens. They continue to remain anxious.
We've had reports of unidentifiable drones on the east coast of the United States of America. These drones started off in places like New York, and Pennsylvania and New Jersey, but have since moved to places such as Maryland, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, posing as a big threat to residents in that area and a big inconvenience to the general public. So much so to the point where we've had federal and state authorities start an investigation along with the FBI and get those people involved. In terms of when these sightings started, we started to see them mid-November 2024, again on the east coast of America, but since then they have been spreading pretty quickly all across the United States of America. In terms of who is involved in these investigations, the Department of Homeland Security has been working closely with the FBI along with various other state police forces to try to come to a conclusion in terms of what these drones are and how they're operating and why they're there. It's just all a very big unknown and what we're trying to figure out. But despite collecting over 3,000 public statements, these forces were unable to confirm the origin of these drones and where they came from and why they're there. But the Department of Defense has also acknowledged that they are aware of these drones and put out a statement that, again, they're unaware as well about the origins of these drones, where they come from, and why they are here. In terms of how this hinders the general public's day-to-day life, we've seen the Stewart International Airport in New York had to be closed temporarily due to this issue, and even a delay in a medical emergency, a very serious medical emergency in New Jersey, where an evacuation helicopter at a hospital for a medical emergency had a very big delay, again due to these drones in the sky. In terms of what they look like and statements from the general public, we've had a variation of those. Some have been saying they're as large as SUVs in the sky, moving together in controlled and coordinated groups, sometimes with their lights on, sometimes with their lights off, just very variants of these groups and how they form and where they move. In terms of official statements, on the bright side, we have had an official statement from White House spokesperson John Kirby. He has put out an official statement saying that these are lawfully manned aircrafts in the sky flying lawfully, and there's no reason to be worried or should there be any speculation of malicious intent, foreign powers, threats to our security. None of that. He has put a stop to all that. He has put an end to all that, saying that these are lawfully manned aircrafts and they're controlled and they're flying in the sky lawfully. Again, he does urge Congress to push legislature that does help, again, control this kind of stuff in the sky so it doesn't pose as such a hindrance to the general public. So he does push for that as well. But also has advised against pointing any lasers or bright things in the sky so as to not confuse any manned civilian aircrafts in the sky. Just to put that out there, he has confirmed that all is good. In terms of further investigations and how that's going, the DoD, the DHS, and the FBI, and the FAA, the Federal Aviation Agency. As investigations continue, authorities continue to work to determine the origin of these drones and where they came from to continue to protect America's safety and control any potential security threats. This has been Hifza Khanbazai with News 9.